Thank you so much for joining us. So I'm gonna tell you a little introduction about Carissa Evangelista. Did I pronounce Carissa Cruz Evangelista? Did I pronounce it right?
Yes, that's correct, Luna.
Okay. So I have to tell a story. So I'm gonna share my screen. So I'm gonna show a little bit. So Carissa Cruz Evangelista is the founder and chief designer from Beatriz. So Beatriz is an amazing, handcrafted and modern brand with a lot of fun and creativity to this, and they design the most amazing accessories I ever seen. And I have to tell a story. We had to buy a clutch for a client, and this client, was looking for something that it was unique. That was the thing that he asked us for. So we went to a boutique in Chicago that is called Icram. And we found, something like this. Look at how amazing, how creative, how much fun these designs are. So I'm in love with the creativity, how colorful they are, especially, because they are different from everything that we have ever seen. This client went to this huge event in the Field Museum in Chicago, and she got tons of compliments, not because of the dress, not because of the shoes, but she said, my clutch was like everything. So you can see some of the designs, and this is a little bit about, the workshop where they work. So I'm in love with this brand. I'm so excited to have this interview today with Carissa. So Carissa, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you start creating these amazing pieces?
Well, designing has actually been in my blood. But before we start, I just wanted to thank you, Luna, for inviting me here today. I was so very surprised and pleased when you had messaged us. And I know of the store Ikram. We had met them at the premiere class in Paris. So just being with you here today and meeting your viewers also, I know is providing us with such great opportunities. So I'm very, very grateful. Now, to go back to your question on how did we start? And maybe 5 years back, what happened was I decided that I wanted to start a Philippine fashion brand. And I knew that there was a lot of craftsmen here in the Philippines that made accessories. They also did weaving for textiles. And I had worked in a position in the past wherein I met with a lot of craftspeople nationwide, and I believed in Filipino talent. That's why I thought that it would be good to marry an aesthetic of something that was very modern, fun, and colorful with traditional techniques, and also maybe other types of techniques that are being done here in the Philippines. I had a dream that I wanted to have a global brand, and with God's grace, it's happening. It would also with a lot of help of the craftsmen that we have, and also the buyers like you. Thank you for finding us at Ikram.
I know it's very delightful to see a brand that is different. It's not imitating anybody else. And also, how colorful and how cheerful as is every single one of the designs. I always believe that the products or, the designs from a designer reflect their personality. Do you feel that way?
Well, it's a choice to be happy. And I know that it's been so difficult for us during lockdown. So it's important for me to express my gratefulness, to be happy, and to choose joy every day. That's why I guess it's reflected also with our brand. It's the great colors of the Philippines. When you think of the Philippines, you think of the beach. You think of happy,
cheerfulness,
family, cheerfulness. lots of food.
Exactly. And this is how
Yeah.
people from the Philippines here. They are cheerful and happy and all of that, right?
So it's like when someone purchases one of our accessories, they're bringing home not just an art piece because it's very well made, but it's also the colors make them happy. You know how
Exactly.
lipstick lifts your mood? It's like you look so pretty with your pink lipstick and your electric blue top, and somehow color lifts you up. And
Yeah.
it's so important, especially now.
Yeah.
We need shots of happiness and color in our life.
You know, color is emotional. Color can change your emotion. Every time you wear a color, you send a message to people and people react to that. So for me, I mean, I love color and I teach about color. We have an academy and we teach students about color. And that's what I told them. Every time you see a color, there's a reaction that you have. Every time you get that vibes from every single color and it's different. So when you see many colors in the bracelets or in those amazing clothes that you design, that's exactly what the client that we have said. It made me happy to wear it and to look at it. So I love it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So tell us about the materials that you use in your clutches, because I was reading, about in your brand, and it says that you use very special and unique materials. We would love to hear about that.
Okay. In the past, we started making things with brass dipped in gold, but and we also used in the past fish scales. So we had fish leather and frog skin. That would be interesting. And then I had a project before where we used computer cables and even rework metal and plastic. So we did things with community groups also made out of recycled plastic. So we did like all the crocheted plastic kind of bags. And then one of the collections that we do is the one that we market abroad. That's the one that, may I show some of the bags that we have? Is that okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes, let's do it. That's amazing.
Okay. So as you can see here, we use cotton. So we have cotton thread. What we do is it's individually lined. It's individually glued and lined with a special technique. So
Wow.
that's the color so vivid. So we have patterns that what we work on is specifically for different collections. We've had one collection. This is a collection that we featured in Paris.
Hi, I'm Lula Kaya. I'm the founder of Style Innovators. And I want to share with you this amazing news. We are working together with the Foundation for Professional Training. As you know, after this pandemic, a lot of students need to start taking classes online. And some of these students in the Philippines are so poor that they can't even afford to have internet. They can't even afford to have a tablet or a gadget to take the classes at home. So this is why we are trying to help these kids so they can continue their education. This project is called Fashion for Education. And there are 3 ways that you can help us. Number 1, you can buy a fashion apron. You can use this apron for everything, for any activity you want around the house, for watering your plants, for cooking, for anything you want. And it's a beautiful piece and you will be helping us. The second way that you can help us is to attend this webinar. This webinar is called 365 Style. How to have a style 365 days a year. So we're going to talk about what are the different trends for different seasons, for different days, for different occasions. There is a formula that we use with all our clients, and I'm going to share that with you. And the third way that you can support and help us is to sponsor one of the kids. So hopefully you can help us in any of these 3 ways. We're going to put a link below and we will be happy to share this amazing project with you. we are having also this week 3 interviews with 3 amazing designers from the Philippines. Hopefully you enjoy them.
Spring summer of 2019. So this is the palette that we used. We had like a deep reds, and then we had baby blues. So from there, we think of the patterns that would be like a global pattern in nature, but then inspired by the colors of the Philippines. Also, then we have spring summer and fall winter. As you know, women we have our spring summer colors and fall winter, and we ended up working with our women, we have different crafts communities based in Pasig and also in the Visayas, and we pay them to work out of their homes, so they don't have to leave their families. And
that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. So that was my next question. So how do you support these women? So you have them work from home sometimes, and that is amazing because you are helping the families too.
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit more about that. I was really, really impressed about that when I read it in your company, and it's just beautiful. I hope every single designer around the world think about family, when they have employees working for them.
That's the kind of organization that I want to run. It was very hard for us during the COVID pandemic, cut across our whole industry because there's been canceled orders by stores. There's also been retrenchment. I'm sure in the US it's even bigger than what we have here. We've been on lockdown since March. We're going through another lockdown again tomorrow. And it's what I realized during this whole time, that it's really most important to take care of family. And since I chose to have this kind of business wherein I have my employees plus the community workers that I have, as much as possible, I made a commitment to them to take care of them also. So with each bag, let's say, I'll feature another bag.
Yes, we will love you to show us what are your favorite designs. We will love that.
So each bag, with each bag that's purchased, there's a possibility that we could help and retain the work of our women leaders that are in the provinces also. I had something that's very fun and interesting that we did for fall winter, because I mentioned colors are so important usually for spring, summer, and fall winter. So this is something that we came up for fall winter. It was done with a designer who's from France. Her name is Lou Lenac. We came up with a design with her, but then we worked with our communities in the Philippines. So as you can see, there's the browns and blacks plus pinks. So this is something that's fun, and it can be translated also into other types of designs that we can end up working on later on, like wall art. So
beautiful. I love the combination of colors. It's like I'm feminine, but I'm elegant at the same time, right?
Yes. Yes. I'm working now. I'll show you something that we're working on, but then it will be for next year. So it's an insight into next year. So I think you might enjoy that.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes. I'm trying to look in two aspects. One is Art Deco. That's my fall winter, and the other one is Japanese.
Wow.
So this is the bag that we're developing for our Japanese collection. I have 2 so far. The colorations will be different. We'll have this with other colorations, and we have this. So something that's bright and happy.
Love it.
Very grand. So I think as we encounter more challenges in our life, we're going to need more color and more strength.
Exactly.
So we get our strength from our friendships with our friendships, and also being with our family, and also from pops of color that we can get from fashion. Fashion is fun, and fashion is also part of the fabric of who we are as women. And I think it's so important for women to keep helping women, and I hope that your viewers can adopt Beatrice accessories.
I see. I can see that now. And especially, I think fashion is a way of expressing who we are. And also is an art. Okay. And that's exactly the trend that is right now. You see the makeup trend right now, it is all of these colorful eyeshadows, because this is what the soul needs right now. It needs something colorful that, like an instant boost, right? Like something that made you feel cheerful and there is something to celebrate. So, because we saw around with, bad news right now, that fashion is a way, one of the ways to express that we can also be happy in the middle of a crisis. So I always says to my clients, I have never met any women that feels better staying in their pajamas all day or dressing in black. When you dress up, when you introduce color into your wardrobe, you feel somehow, you look at the mirror and you're like, I like what I see, and you inspire others. That's what fashion is. It's a way of communication. So I'm telling you, clients from Latin America, they love color. They're gonna fall in love with your designs, and I'm pretty sure you will get an email or somebody requesting more information or anything. I'm in love with your designs. So the minute we find out how we can order online, okay, I'm gonna order that blue one and the blue with orange. Blue and orange is one of my favorite combinations.
So, you mean this blue one here?
No, that blue and the blue with orange. That's my favorite. The one you showed.
Oh, this one's new for next year. So
beautiful. You have to save me one.
You have to make it really one. Maybe you can be the number 2 in the world to have it.
Exactly. I'm up for that. I'm telling you, it's very beautiful. You know why? Because if you look at nature and look at flowers, how they mix and match colors. There is a flower that has exactly the colors that you're showing in that bird. And that's beautiful. This is, if you see a fish, if you look, especially in the Philippines, you have these colorful birds and colorful flowers. They use these colors on nature, and every time you are around nature, you feel happy, right? And motivated. So that's your purposes are bringing us a little bit about these colorful from the Philippines, like you mentioned in the beginning. And it's a way to cheer up our souls. I love it. So thank you so much for your time. We really enjoyed this interview. Hopefully it's not the last one. I'm guessing.
I'll be maybe one day I can interview you.
Yeah, let's do that.